Well, Ryan, thanks so much. Appreciate it, and congratulations on the gig. You're a LaSalle guy, grew up in the area, and you were drafted by the Union, and now you get to coach the Union. How surreal has this been for you?
Yeah, it's we haven't actually done anything on the field yet, so you haven't felt that part. But when this all became public, the amount of people that reached out to me from so many different pieces of that journey, all around Philly soccer area, that was a really nice part. You hear from people that you played with and played for from the time you were 5 years old, and then people that you worked with for the last 10 years as part of the Union organization. That's been really nice to hear from a lot of people, and excited to start and hopefully make them all proud.
William Tennant High, Southampton. You grew up in that
That's
area.
That's right. Yeah.
So this, I guess, goes way back, as you said, 5 years old. Did you always know soccer would be the path, or was it one of those things like you're playing hoops in the backyard also?
Yeah. No, we're a soccer family, but like I was in every sport. You know, I played basketball through high school, and then you kind of have to make the decision. Now you have to make a decision when you're like 8 years old.
Right, yeah, it's different.
But then it was 18, so it's still all sport guys, still all sports in Philly too. So, but no, soccer's always been like the family thing, the main thing, and keeping it the main thing for a long time.
Sure. So you take over as the interim head coach. What do you think needs to happen here to turn this thing around? I know you said you haven't gotten in yet with the guys because they're not here. But what do you think needs to change? What do you expect from yourself to change the culture around here?
Yeah, I think the point you said, the culture, that's the main thing. And nothing that we're going to try to do differently is something against the previous coaching staff. Bradley was great to me. I had an awesome relationship with him, and we worked really well with him as first team coach and me as a second team coach. So nothing we want to change is like against him, but there are ideas of what we think the environment should be like, and that's the first piece that we have to get on: the culture, what we want the environment to be, what we want the standards to be, and how we hold people accountable to them, and how the guys hold each other accountable to those standards.
How about family? Just kind of bringing it back, full circle. What do they think of all of this? You said that you've heard from a lot of different people in different walks of life from your upbringing. What's everyone think about this?
Yeah, excited. I mean, honestly, the only thing that I'm actually worried about for this new position is how this is going to affect my family life. I have 3 kids, and I know the travel schedule for MLS. I worked as an assistant for a number of years with the Union, and the travel and the life is a little bit different than as a second team coach. So I'm excited for all the stuff on the field. I'm just worried about this stuff of how that affects life outside of soccer.
How old are the kids?
10, 7, and 5.
Oh, so you're
So we're right in the middle of it. Every day is fun. I can't wait to get home. They're more excited than I am for this, so we can't wait to kind of get going here, and for them to be able to come out to the games and watch our team play in front of a full stadium.
Very cool. So you've sort of come up through the Union. Obviously, you were drafted there. You've been coaching in some capacity here for years. So you've gotten to know a lot of the guys that are on the U.S. men's national team, which is really cool. Can you talk about some of the relationships that you've built with these guys over the past decade or so?
Yeah, it's funny. I had the chance. I played with Brendan, Mark, Austin when they were 16, 17 years old, and they were kind of trying to take the first step into the professional game. And now you see the level that they've reached. It's incredible, and we're proud of them. I think when they were first coming through, you never predict what level a player is going to reach, but all 3 of them were so driven, great families that support them and push them kind of, to make everything possible, and then the rest is them that may help them reach that level. With Matt, a little different, work with him in the first team capacity, so seeing him at that time, he was the number 2 with the Union, not really able to break through because of Andre and basically the best goalie in MLS history in front of him, so he had to take a little different path and go within league, and he's proven himself over the past 3 years, I would say, as one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and then, obviously one of the best goalkeepers that our country has produced. So for all those guys, we're so proud of them. It's such a great reflection of the Union Academy, of what Philadelphia soccer is supposed to be, and all 4 of them, the way that they approach everything, they do it in the right way. They're disciplined, they're hungry, they're driven, and they don't forget where they came from. You still, even the guys that are in Europe, when they come home, we end up seeing them every summer type of thing. So we appreciate that, and hopefully they feel like the people here were good to them and help them along their journey.
Does it, with some of these guys, does it feel like you were, sort of on the same path, same upbringing, like we're all in on soccer families, and kind of led to this?
It was a little different probably, because I would say the structure of youth development was different when we were growing up.
That's a good point.
As far as academies and just how professional everything was, and then when they're a little bit behind us age-wise, but they came through the system that the Grahams and the Union built, and the whole idea was for them to be at this point, for the talented kids to have the pathway to go as far as they possibly can in the professional game, and now, representing our country at the World Cup. So a little bit different, and I'm not as good as them. That's the main. that's the main reason. But no, like I said, we're proud of them, and it is a reflection of all the hard work that a lot of people have done in this environment to try to create a pathway for these kids to be able to make that step.
I know you said that when you were with some of these guys, playing with or coaching with, you don't try to look too far ahead. Is there a moment with Brendan, Mark, Austin where you said, like, they've got what it takes to hit that level?
Yeah, when you see them making their first team debuts, and in that first year, you're like, okay, this is a little bit different. Brendan steps in. I think his first game was against Atlanta, 18 years old, in front of 70,000 people, scores a goal to win the game. Austin, I can remember we played together when he was 16 years old, and it was like so many mistakes he was making, and I was older, so I had a different. I was driven to win these games, and I was on him. And then, hopefully he feels like I was a good influence in that. Like, being on him is because you want more out of him, and then you see him 3 years later when he's starting every game for the first team. I mean, an absolute animal athletically. Takes a step to Europe and is successful in a number of different clubs and countries in Europe. And then Mark the same. He steps in the first team, and it's like immediately you can see when a guy's at the level or when he's out of his depth. And with all the guys, like, they were able to raise to that level almost as soon as they got introduced into MLS.
How closely will you be watching the World Cup? I know you've got a job to do, but it's a big moment for the sport here in our country. Yeah,
we'll have every game on. Hopefully get down to a couple games in Philly. Don't know if we'll catch the U.S. live, but no, we'll be following really closely.
And what do you think, just generally speaking, this could mean for the sport here in the country?
Yeah, hopefully it's the attention to the sport that creates a bigger population that's involved. Okay, so I work now with a program in Philadelphia called The Swag, and it's trying to get kids from underserved communities or communities that generally don't have a pathway in soccer.
Sure.
We're talking 4, 5, and 6 years old, trying to get involved in the game early and create a pipeline and a pathway for them to have a future in that game. But hopefully this World Cup can inspire programs like that, communities like that, to fall in love with the game, fall in love with the environment that's around it, the diversity and the culture that's around the game. I mean, it's such a special thing, and this is going to be such a special place to be through the summer, and that's a number of the cities throughout the country.
Ryan, appreciate a few minutes. Good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Great to see you.